Work in Queensland's building and construction industry? BUSSQ is the super fund built for you. With personalised advice and service, specialised insurance and solid performance, you can build, belong, grow your super with BUSSQ.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us online for BUSSQ's annual members meeting for the 2024 to 2025 financial year. My name is Chris Taylor and it's a privilege to serve as Chairman of BUSSQ's Board of Trustees. First and foremost, I want to thank you, our members. You are the backbone of Queensland's building, construction and civil industries, and your trust in BUSSQ drives everything we do. And our purpose is simple: to put members first, helping you turn years of hard work into a secure, confident retirement. Before we begin, I acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we gather and work and where you may be joining us from today. For those of us here in Milton, we acknowledge the Turrbal and Yagara people as the first custodians of this area. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and honour their deep connection to this land and their role as its caretakers for tens of thousands of years. On today's agenda, I'll provide an update on the board, our priorities and recent changes. Then I'll hand over to BUSSQ's CEO Damien Wills, who'll share key highlights from the past financial year, speak to investment performance and outline the year ahead. After these updates, we'll move into a Q&A session to answer member questions submitted online. If you have questions during the session, please submit them via the live chat box below the video window. If we don't get to your question today, we'll publish responses on our website within a month alongside the meeting's recordings and minutes. While we can't address personal account queries here, our team is available to help you with those via phone or email using the details on screen. The information shared today is general information only and does not take into account or consider your personal objectives, financial situation or needs. Before acting, please review the relevant product disclosure statement on the BUSSQ website and consider the appropriateness of the information to your objectives, financial situation and needs. With that said, I want to introduce and thank my fellow directors and our executive team for their dedication over the past year. Our directors in the 2024 to 2025 financial year were Ben Young, Emma Eves, Jeff Bagley, Hemal Patel, Linda Vickers and Paul Dunbar and Paul Hick. Each brings valuable experience across building and construction, finance, governance and member advocacy, keeping us focused on what matters most to you. We have a quorum of directors present today, and joining us online is John McDonald, representing our auditor, Ernst & Young. With the trustee office team, there have been some recent changes. Peter Leahy, Chief Investment Officer, departed in December 2025, and we thank Peter for his contributions and wish him well. I'm pleased to announce Bill Watson will join BUSSQ as our new Chief Investment Officer in April this year. Bill was CEO and CIO of First Super and brings over 30 years of investment management experience. Until Bill commences, our CEO Damien Wills is acting as interim CIO to ensure continuity in our investment strategy. The past year has been one of progress and purpose for BUSSQ, guided by our commitment to members. The board focused on delivering meaningful outcomes that matter most. We strengthened our governance and resilience to support managing your retirement savings responsibly in an ever-changing environment. For super members, we simplified our products and reduced fees to help make it easier to manage your super and keep your retirement savings working harder for you. We refined our investment approach with strategies designed to help members work towards their long-term retirement goals even as markets fluctuate. We expanded our advice and education services so more members could access support and guidance to plan for retirement with confidence. These achievements are just some of the ways we're working to support you and your financial future. Damien will share more detail on these initiatives and our performance shortly. Over the year, we have strengthened our governance framework through programs that enhance operational resilience and meet new accountability standards under the financial accountability regime. Work that is focused on protecting members' savings and reinforcing trust in BUSSQ. With the superannuation landscape continuing to evolve, this brings significant developments for members. On the 1st of July 2025, the superannuation guarantee increased from 11.5% to 12%, helping boost retirement savings for workers. Another important development on the horizon is Payday Super, which will come into effect on the 1st of July 2026, meaning super contributions will be paid at the same time as wages, creating a fairer and more reliable system. We're preparing now to ensure a smooth transition when it commences. There's also good news for lower income earners, with a proposed increase to the low income super tax offset to make super tax arrangements fairer for those earning $45,000 or less. This proposal is currently progressing through Parliament with an aim to commence from the 1st of July 2027. In this evolving environment, we remain focused on responding to change and upholding the standards you expect from your fund. Looking ahead, our focus is clear. Exceed members' expectations, not just meet minimum standards. Enhance our products, simplify processes, and provide the resources and tools that support members at every stage of their super journey. Stay alert and adaptive to regulatory changes, industry developments, and emerging technologies, including the evolution of AI, so we can continue to focus on delivering value and security for members. Before I hand over to Damien Wills, I want to thank you again for your trust and loyalty. BUSSQ exists to serve you, and every decision we make is aimed at delivering the best possible outcomes for our members and their families. Thank you also to our board, committees, industry partners, and the BUSSQ team for their commitment to putting members first. Together we've achieved a lot, and together we'll continue to do more, because that's what our members deserve. I'd like to now hand over to Damien Wills.
Thank you, Chris, for your introduction. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to our members, directors, industry partners and BUSSQ staff joining us today. It's a privilege to stand before you as CEO and Interim CIO and provide an update on your fund's progress, achievements and direction for the year ahead. During the financial year, BUSSQ marked 40 years of serving Queensland's building, construction and civil industries. From humble beginnings in early 1985, when we received our first member contribution, to having over $7.42 billion in funds under management for more than 72,000 members' accounts at 30 June 25, our journey has been remarkable, and it's your ongoing support and trust that have made it possible. Looking back, I think of the original industry pioneers who set up BUSSQ for workers in our sector. Their vision was simple but powerful: to help workers save, invest and retire with dignity. Today, we remain true to that mission, acting as custodians of your hard-earned savings, managing them responsibly, and always putting your interests first. Despite global market volatility, the 2025 financial year saw good results for BUSSQ. Our balanced growth option, where most of our members are invested, delivered double-digit returns for our super, transition to retirement, and retirement income account members. Looking over the longer term, the balanced growth super option has averaged a solid 9.14% return since inception. This long-term average shows our ability to navigate changing markets and our ongoing focus on helping you grow your retirement savings, not just for today, but for the years ahead. We know every dollar counts. That's why, over the past financial year, we implemented the next stage of our fee reduction strategy. On the 1st of July 2025, we removed the weekly administration fee for super members and reduced the percentage-based administration fee from 0.2% to 0.18% per annum. While a weekly fee was introduced for income accounts, most members are now paying less in fees. During this period, we began work on simplifying our product offering, resulting in the consolidation of MySuper and Premium Choice into the new BUSSQ Super account. This transition was completed on the 1st of October 2025, giving members access to our full range of investment and insurance options. These changes are all part of our ongoing commitment to make superannuation and retirement as easy as possible for you. But delivering for members goes beyond products and fees. We've made it easy for members to access support and advice. Over the financial year, we delivered over 1,300 advice appointments with a 98% satisfaction rating, and 90% of members who met with our advice team said they felt more confident about their retirement. We also delivered our pre-retirement seminars across Queensland, which saw over 95% of attendees report increased retirement confidence. It's so rewarding to see these results and the positive impact our advice and education services are having on our members' retirement readiness. At BUSSQ, service quality is in our DNA. You always come first, and serving your needs is paramount. During the year, we introduced our Member Service Promise, an initiative where we measure ourselves against high service standards and publish the results for full transparency. For example, in the 2025 financial year, we paid 100% of death claims, paid 94.3% of TPD claims, and had zero death benefit service-related complaints escalated to AFCA. These outcomes reflect not just our commitment to transparency, but our genuine care for members and their loved ones when it matters most. Now let's take a moment to reflect on some further key achievements from the year, milestones that show how we're delivering for you. We welcomed 7,008 new member accounts, bringing our total to over 72,000. We managed over $7.42 billion in members' retirement savings. We collected over $10.1 million in late contributions on behalf of members through our dedicated arrears process. We personally answered over 96,000 member queries. We held over 580 information sessions at work sites and workplaces to help members better understand their super. These achievements highlight our drive to deliver value and support to you, wherever you are in your super and retirement journey. What sets us apart at BUSSQ is how we service our members, and this has been recognised at a national industry-wide level. In November 2025, BUSSQ proudly received Super Review's Service Quality Award for 2026, a significant accolade that recognises our superior speed and quality of service in meeting members' needs. We're honoured to have received this award, which reinforces how BUSSQ continues to punch above its weight, providing personalised, boots-on-the-ground support across Queensland. We know that a secure future starts with strong foundations, and over the past year, we've enhanced the way we operate. We strengthened our operational resilience with the aim of making sure we're prepared for challenges that may come. We enhanced vendor governance and invested in our technology environment, putting systems in place which are designed to protect your information from cyber threats and support consistent, high-quality service. We also continued to review and adjust our investment portfolio, as we were always looking for ways to deliver long-term performance for members. Alongside this, we invested in our people, who are the foundation for everything we do. We provided training and support so our team can deliver the best possible outcomes for you. At BUSSQ, we don't settle for ticking boxes or meeting minimum standards. We're focused on going the extra mile by building trust, staying agile, and making sure every decision we make is guided by our goal to help you achieve a better retirement. Looking forward, BUSSQ remains laser-focused on supporting Queensland's building, construction and civil industries. With major infrastructure projects on the horizon, including preparations for the 2032 Games, we anticipate increased activity and see opportunities for growth across these sectors. We're committed to being there for our members every step of the way. We'll continue to innovate around members' needs, simplify our processes, invest in our advice, tools and services that aim to make a real difference. Our size means we can pivot quickly and stay close to our members, ensuring you're never just a number. Your super depends on solid investment decisions, balancing growth with protection. So let's turn to our investment journey, looking at how the markets and your investment options performed, the changes we made, and factors shaping our future approach. The 2024 to 2025 financial year was characterised by significant market volatility driven by geopolitical tensions, US political developments, and monetary policy shifts. Global trade tensions, tariff announcements, and inflation concerns created an uncertain and challenging environment for investors to navigate. The major investment themes that shaped performance across Australian, global, and emerging share markets throughout the year were artificial intelligence and technology investment, geopolitical fragmentation and trade realignment, central bank policy divergence, energy transition and infrastructure investment, and market concentration and valuation concerns. Together, these themes provided the backdrop to market performance over the year. Let's start with the artificial intelligence and technology investment. This remained a dominant market theme throughout the period. The build-out of AI capabilities required unprecedented capital expenditure, with implications extending beyond technology companies into energy infrastructure and data centre development. This theme supported US market outperformance, though concerns about valuation and return on investment created periodic volatility. Turning to geopolitical fragmentation and trade realignment, the shift from globalisation toward regionalisation accelerated during the period. US trade policy became more protectionist, pushing trade and investment toward north-south orientations as developed markets strengthened links with resource-rich economies. This created both disruption risks and new investment opportunities in alternative supply chains and regional infrastructure. A third theme was central bank policy divergence, where central banks navigated conflicting pressures of supporting economic growth while managing persistent inflation. The US Federal Reserve implemented rate cuts but signalled a cautious approach. The European Central Bank pursued more aggressive easing. This divergence in monetary policy created opportunities and risks across global fixed income and currency markets. Another important theme was energy transition and infrastructure investment. Investment in renewable energy, grid modernisation, and sustainable infrastructure continued to grow. Asia's rising energy demand, combined with Europe's focus on energy security following geopolitical tensions, created significant opportunities in clean energy infrastructure. Lastly, market concentration and valuation concerns were evident, with equity market returns remaining concentrated in a small number of large technology companies, particularly in the US. This concentration created both momentum opportunities and valuation risks. The sharp April correction demonstrated the vulnerability of highly concentrated markets to sentiment shifts, while the subsequent recovery showed the resilience of quality growth companies. Despite this backdrop, markets finished the financial year on a strong note, creating opportunities for investors as Australian shares, global shares, and emerging markets posted gains. If we look at how our investment options performed over the financial year to 30 June 2025, it was a pleasing year for member returns, with our balanced growth and high growth diversified options posting double-digit returns. For super members, our balanced growth option returned 10.09%, and our high growth option delivered 11.4%. For income account members, our balanced growth option returned 12.43%, and our high growth option delivered 14.19%. The higher returns for income accounts reflect the benefit of the retirement phase, where investment earnings aren't taxed. When compared with other super funds across the industry, our income account product achieved above median returns in these options based on the June 2025 Super Ratings Performance Survey. For all other options, they also delivered positive results for the financial year. Turning to the bigger picture. On the screen, you'll see how our diversified options have performed over the past decade compared to their long-term objectives. Each option is designed to deliver returns above inflation, measured by using the Consumer Price Index, plus a percentage margin that differs for each option. This is our real investment objective. It's about helping your money grow faster than the rising cost of living. For the 10 years to 30 June 2025, all three options have not only met but exceeded their investment objectives. This means that over the past decade, members have not only protected but also grown their retirement savings. Throughout the financial year, we made proactive changes aimed at safeguarding and enhancing the long-term growth of your retirement savings. Our investment strategy included taking a more cautious position around asset allocation than some other funds, as we believe some companies and share markets, particularly US markets, were overvalued. We also maintained a strong allocation to infrastructure and increased exposure to opportunistic debt and fixed interests to help manage risk. When share markets fell in April, we took the opportunity to increase our investment in US, global and Australian shares, which helped boost returns for our diversified options. Investing well also means being prepared for periods when markets fall. Through active investment management, the balanced growth options remained well positioned during this period and delivered a top 10 return for the last financial quarter, as reported in the June 2025 Super Ratings Performance Survey. These actions reflected BUSSQ's investment strategy to actively manage risk and seek opportunities with good returns. That means adjusting exposure during market extremes and using our size to invest in niche strategies, helping to keep your retirement savings safe and growing. Investment markets are dynamic, and during 2025, the board undertook a significant program of work to review our investment beliefs and philosophy, overall portfolio construction, and the investment options available to members. This exercise was undertaken to help ensure we can continue to meet our members' expectations in providing cost-effective, risk-adjusted returns. We made material changes to our equity investment managers in December last year, removing underperforming managers and increasing our exposure to passive managers in the short term, which also lowered our investment management fees. We brought on additional highly experienced resources in the investment space to provide enhanced support and expertise. Following Peter Lader's departure in December, we appointed senior industry professional Bill Watson as our new Chief Investment Officer. Bill brings decades of proven investment management and CIO experience, helping to ensure our investment portfolio is fit for purpose and delivers on our investment objectives for members during this next phase of the investment cycle. We are also looking at our investment menu to ensure our investment options are true to label and simple for members to understand. This ties into our overall strategic approach, which is to simplify products and processes where possible. Any changes in this space will be communicated to members. Looking ahead, there are a few things we're continuing to keep a close watch on. Global trade tensions, ongoing tariff disputes and shifting trade policies among major economies continue to create uncertainty. Interest rates, decisions by central banks remain critical as rate changes affect borrowing costs and investment activity. Geopolitical events, conflicts in the Middle East and the Russia-Ukraine war can disrupt energy markets and supply chains. And technology trends, advances in artificial intelligence and the performance of major tech companies and their impacts on investor confidence and sector returns. We'll monitor these influences on markets closely and adjust our approach to help protect and grow your retirement savings. We know super works best when you give it time. Markets will always have ups and downs, but history shows that staying invested over the long term pays off. There is an old adage in investments that say it's not about timing the market, but rather time in the market that delivers sustainable long-term success. Building your retirement savings pool is a long game, and over the course of your lifetime, investment markets will be characterised by periods of good times and market shocks. That's why it's important you take a real interest in your superannuation and partner with a fund that always has your best financial interests at heart and is there to help you navigate these cycles with financial advice. Our team of experienced staff and financial advisors are here to assist you at any stage to ensure you prepare well for the retirement of your dreams. As I wrap up this update, I want to thank every member, employer and industry partner for your ongoing support and trust. BUSSQ exists for you, and we never take that for granted. To our staff and board, thank you for your commitment to service excellence and for living our values every day. We're now going to move into our live Q&A session. To guide us through your questions, I'll hand over to Lee Mackay, BUSSQ's Executive Manager for Member Engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien and Chris, for your updates today. Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us. My name is Lee Mackay. I'm the Executive Manager of Member Engagement, and I'll be facilitating today's live Q&A. Our panel of directors, CEO and our auditor are all here to answer your pre-submitted questions, and if we have time, any other questions you may have. If you'd like to ask a question during the session, please use the chat box on your screen. Please note that we are not able to answer any questions relating to your personal account or situation. If you have a personal question, please contact us on 1800 692 877 or email super@bussq.com.au. We'll answer as many questions as we can, but if we run out of time or receive a question that requires time to investigate, we'll include the response in the meeting minutes on our website within a month. Now, let's get started with the Q&A. The first question today is, Dear BUSSQ, are we still an independent entity with no takeover aspirations or ambitions being considered from larger funds? I'll hand over to BUSSQ's Chair, Chris Taylor, to respond.
Thank you, Lee. In response to that question, yes, BUSSQ does remain completely independent and member-focused fund. The board has no current plans or intentions to pursue a merger, and there are no formal or informal merger proposals being considered by or presented to BUSSQ at this time. We are conscious that the superannuation industry continues to evolve with ongoing regulatory change and consolidation across the sector. With this in mind, the board's current view is that BUSSQ can best serve members' interests by remaining independent and focused on what matters most, delivering the award-winning service, strong long-term investment outcomes, and providing the products, tools and resources to help members at every stage of their super journey. As always, the board has a responsibility to act in the best financial interests of members. If any proposal were to arise in the future, it would be carefully assessed against that obligation. However, a merger is not something the board is currently discussing or considering.
Thank you, Chris. Our next question is, how is the fund performing and what gains has it made? I'll hand over to BUSSQ's CEO and interim CIO, Damien Wills, to respond.
Thank you for the question, Lee. As outlined earlier in today's update, BUSSQ delivered a positive year of performance despite a period of heightened market volatility driven by global economic, political and inflationary pressures. The fund's balanced growth options, where most members are invested, delivered double-digit returns over the financial year. For our super and TTR members, this option delivered a 10.09% return, and for income account members it was 12.43%. As noted, over the longer term, the balanced growth super option averaged a solid 9.14% return since inception to 30 June 2025, which provides an important long-term view of performance over different market conditions. For all of BUSSQ's other investment options, they are also delivered positive returns over the financial year, and as always, our focus remains on supporting members' retirement outcomes over time rather than short-term market movements. Members can also view BUSSQ's latest investment returns by heading over to the BUSSQ website at bussq.com.au/investments page and finding the Our Performance section.
Thank you, Damien. The next question we received is, what do you see as the risks and opportunities from the uptake of AI with regard to the internal operation of BUSSQ? And how is the fund positioned with regard to AI-exposed stocks more broadly? I'll hand back over to Damien to answer.
Thank you for the question. From an operational perspective, we recognise that AI is developing rapidly across many industries. Here at BUSSQ, we're introducing AI in a measured and deliberate way where it can support our staff with efficiency and analysis while maintaining our personalised service to members. As with any new technology, it needs to be used carefully. That includes making sure information is handled securely, results are checked, and AI supports rather than replaces human judgment on decision making. That's why we've introduced AI gradually, with controlled testing and clear governance and oversight in place. Our people remain responsible for all decisions, and staff are trained and guided to question, verify, and apply critical thinking, so that any use of AI remains responsible, secure, and aligned with our duty to act in members' best interests. From an investment perspective, BUSSQ holds investments in AI companies and companies that are using and benefiting from AI. We did, however, take a cautious approach to our exposures to AI stocks last year and held underweight positions generally to the index. Exposure to companies involved in areas such as AI occurs through our diversified investment strategy and options, where relevant, rather than through targeted or speculative positions. As we touched on earlier today, our focus remains on a medium to long-term approach to investing aimed at supporting members' retirement outcomes over time.
Thank you, Damien. Another question that came through was, given that the CFMEU is currently under administration and there is an ongoing inquiry into the union, how is this disruption impacting the management of BUSSQ? And what strategies have been considered to manage the risk of the CFMEU being deregistered as a union? I'll hand over to Chris to provide a response.
Thanks, Lee, and thanks very much for the question. It's important to remember that BUSSQ is independently operated by the board and a dedicated team of highly experienced superannuation experts. Like all industry funds, its sponsoring shareholders are equally represented by employer and member bodies. In our case, that is Master Builders Queensland and the CFMEU Queensland. However, their role in BUSSQ starts and finishes with the nomination of directors whose duty is to independently manage the fund in the best financial interest of members under the watchful eye of industry regulators. Apart from the support provided directly to our members, our sponsors provide promotional assistance to their respective members and are strong supporters of BUSSQ, but have no operational or management function of BUSSQ. Therefore, nothing to date that has occurred with the CFMEU Queensland has affected BUSSQ day-to-day operations, and that will not change. In the unlikely event that CFMEU Queensland was deregistered, an alternative union would need to take over the representation of members of the construction industry under the various industrial relations laws. That replacement would likely become the member representative for BUSSQ. The change would ultimately not have any impact on the fund's day-to-day operations.
Thank you, Chris. And our final pre-submitted question is, can you provide an update of the review of the trustees' fitness and proprietary framework for directors and expenditure decisions as they pertain to the CFMEU, as requested by APRA on the 15th of August 2024? I'll hand back to Chris to provide a response.
Thank you for the question. By way of background for members, in August 2024, the regulator, APRA, asked BUSSQ to review the trustees' fitness and proprietary framework and its expenditure decisions connected to the CFMEU. BUSSQ engaged KPMG as an independent advisor in 2025 to carry out that review. KPMG concluded that BUSSQ's current directors and officers are fit and proper, and that, with the exception of an area where recommendations have been made, the CFMEU connected expenditure decisions are consistent with the sound and prudent management of BUSSQ's business operations. KPMG's report included recommendations to further uplift BUSSQ's governance in these areas, and we have been implementing these as part of our uplift plan, with APRA being involved along the way. Overall, BUSSQ remains focused on strong governance and acting in members' best financial interests, and both the KPMG independent report and our uplift plan are available to read on our website.
Thank you, Chris. We'll now take a quick moment to check if there are any more questions submitted online. Please stand by and we'll be back soon. Thank you everyone for waiting. We have now completed our check and there are no further live questions that can be answered today. So that now concludes our Q&A session and our annual members meeting for the 2025 financial year. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time and the thoughtful questions you've shared. As mentioned, any questions we were unable to answer today, they will be published on our website in the meeting minutes within a month. In the meantime, if you would like to speak to one of our team, please call us on 1800 692 877 or email super@bussq.com.au. On behalf of everyone at BUSSQ, I want to say how much we value this opportunity to connect with you, our members. We're incredibly proud to work for you and we remain focused on delivering award-winning service and helping you build a more confident retirement. We look forward to seeing you at next year's meeting. Thank you.